Why don't you give us your name and spelling? Let's get started. Okay?
Sure. Leon Krolikowski, I'm the Chief of Police, New Canaan, Connecticut.
Okay, do you need to make a statement first, or can we just talk to you?
I will read the press release.
Okay, please
Yep.
do, sir.
Sure. On Saturday, April 26, 2014, at approximately 8:20 p.m., New Canaan officers responded to a location in New Canaan to investigate a family dispute. Investigating officers gathered information and found probable cause to arrest the below individuals for the listed violation of the Connecticut General Statutes. Arrested were Paul Simon, 72 years of age, charged was 53A 182, disorderly conduct, and Edie Brickell, 47 years of age, charged 53A 182, disorderly conduct. Both Mr. Simon and Ms. Brickell were to appear in Norfolk Superior Court this morning.
Chief, can you tell me what happened when you got there? What was the, when the guys got there? What happened? What was the situation? What did you see?
When they were called to the scene of where the dispute was reported, the officers investigated and determined that there was an altercation and that there was probable cause for an arrest, and under Connecticut law we were obligated to make an arrest because it was considered domestic violence.
What kind of an altercation are we talking about, sir?
It was a physical altercation, a minor in nature.
Okay, what was the state of Mr. Simon and Ms. Brickell physically? What did they observe?
I don't know.
Scratches, bumps, bruises?
I'm not going to specify what the actual injuries were, other than they were minor.
Were a physical altercation, would it be punching or something?
No, not punching. It was a minor altercation, sufficient to require an arrest, but not significant enough to be called punching or anything like that.
And you said it was a 911 tip?
It was a hang-up call. Yes.
What does that mean, a
Hang-up call.
911 hang-up call? What is that?
That's if you call 911 on a telephone, and then you just hang up. We still get the information that there was an incident at wherever the location occurred, and we're obligated to go and investigate and determine
And the
what
caller
happened.
did not identify themselves?
It was a hang-up call, yes.
So someone picked up that phone, dialed 911, and hung up.
Exactly right.
What was the emotional state of the two as observed by your officers, sir?
I don't know what the emotional state was.
Were they upset? Were they yelling?
I don't know.
Any indication they've been drinking? Or
I'm not going to reveal any information about that.
okay, what did they say happened?
It was an altercation. It was like a very common domestic incident that occurs all the time, and there was a dispute, some kind of argument, and we were obligated to make an arrest.
Is that them talking, or are your guys talking about that they said that there was a dispute? Is that what they discerned from the two parties?
Yes, that part of their investigation was they discerned that there was a dispute amongst the two parties.
What was the dispute about?
I don't know.
They have 3 children, is that correct?
I don't know how many children.
Were there children in the home at the time, sir?
That's not clear.
Is this your first time that you went to the house for a domestic dispute?
I'm not going to confirm where it occurred, although it occurred in New Canaan. I'm not going to specify that it was at their house.
Would you say it was not at their house?
I wouldn't say that either. No.
Well, is this the first?
I'll confirm it occurred in New Canaan. That's it.
Is this the first time that you've either arrested them or dealt with them about a domestic dispute?
It is.
You were mentioning earlier when you're talking to some of the other people that you described them. How would you, or how have you described them in this community? Because they're known to you.
They are. They are. They're known well to the community. They're very nice people, very willing to help us when we need help, and frankly, well known enough that everybody knows who they are. They're quiet. They keep to themselves. Great people, and it's unfortunate that this incident occurred, but we were obligated to make an arrest because of what occurred.
You ever been called to their house for anything like this or anything?
Never have.
Have you ever had any other interaction with them in a non-confrontational, any positive interaction?
Many
with them?
times.
Chief,
Yes.
how
Would you care to
cooperative were
elaborate on
they?
that?
No. Yes.
How cooperative were they when officers arrived?
They were cooperative.
What does that mean?
We asked questions, they answered questions. We determined there was probable cause for an arrest, and we made the arrests by summons, which means pretty much they're given a ticket, and they were summoned to appear today in court, in Norfolk Superior Court.
So
Did they
ever
stay in the
taken
house
here- were
after
they
your
ever-
officers
were they ever
left?
taken
Did they
here,
stay in the
or-
house after your officers
We're asking
left?
the same thing. Were they ever taken out of wherever it was, or taken here,
Wow.
or was it a summons?
They were not taken into custody, they were given a summons.
And allowed to return?
Yeah, they were allowed to return at some point.
What's the technical term for right now? I mean, they're released from they're not in custody.
Yeah,
Just
they've been
released.
arrested and pending a court appearance.
What was their
And
bond?
Chief, I apologize, I arrived just a little bit late, but did either of the suspects here, did they have any marks or anything on them in terms of?
There were some minor injuries. I'm not going to elaborate specifically what they were, but there were some minor injuries.
Chief, do either of them have prior records of anything?
I don't know.
Tickets or?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
What was their
Not
bond?
New Canaan. It was a promise to appear in court.
Is it
Both of them had a PTA?
Yes.
Is it a bench warrant? How did you describe it earlier? Is it a ticket? What did you say it was?
It's a misdemeanor summons because it's a misdemeanor arrest, so it was a summons arrest. In essence, we can arrest someone and take them into custody, or we can release them on their recognizance by way of a ticket, which is a summons, so it was a summons arrest.
Did the hang-up call come from the resident where the incident took place?
Where the location where the incident took place, a call came from there, yes.
Was it either one of the parties that made the call?
I don't know.
Is that what, I'm assuming you're trying to figure out at this point? Is
I would
who
say,
made-
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Was there, I mean, you don't wanna really say where it happened, but the location, was there any signs, or were there any signs of maybe some kind of disruption or broken property or anything like that?
I'm not gonna go into specifics. I mean, I kinda said pretty much the incident occurred. We believed there was domestic violence. We had probable cause to make an arrest. We made the arrest, and they're appearing in court today. I'd rather not elaborate into specific details.
What happens now down the road for these guys?
What happens now is, frankly, the police, we aren't involved anymore. Once we make the arrest, they appear in court today. Then it's up to the prosecuting attorney and their defense attorney what happens with the case. Traditionally, domestic violence cases, there's lots of diversionary programs that allows domestic violence arrests to be erased or dismissed once the programs are completed. So that's pretty common for all domestic violence arrests, regardless of who the folks are.
Conceivably, could there be any jail time with this?
I'd be very surprised if that could ever happen.
Chief, in general, whenever you have a domestic dispute, normally it's the aggressor who's the one that's arrested. In this particular case, why were both arrested?
If both are involved in aggression, which we believe we have probable cause to make an arrest for, that's this instance. So there was aggressiveness on both sides, which we deemed wasn't self-defense.
Did they have to be restrained at all during the
No.
questioning?
Absolutely not.
Though the injuries were minor, did either of them seek medical attention?
They did not.
Misdemeanors, how would you classify the charge? Or?
It's a misdemeanor, exactly right. Yes.
Were they both allowed to stay in the home afterwards, or one was told they couldn't come back?
One agreed to leave and go to another location, yes.
Which one was that?
I'm not gonna say.
When will more information be available about the incidents?
Probably won't be for the immediate future. I suspect we've released all that we want to release at this stage, and probably wouldn't release anything more. Like I said, we're trying to be respectful of the situation. Although these domestic violence incidents happen a lot in New Canaan, sadly enough, in this instance, it involves celebrities, and we're trying to be respectful of them and of their families, like we are with any domestic violence incident. Obviously, if a domestic violence arrest occurred with somebody that wasn't a celebrity, you guys probably wouldn't care that much about it, or wasn't that important. So we're just trying to be respectful and treat this like we would any other case.
Chief, could you go through quickly what you told the other people about an increase in domestic incidents, or how did you describe it?
We've seen a substantial increase in family disputes this year, about a 68% increase in New Canaan. And not all of those family disputes are domestic violence, but we're seeing a big increase, which concerns us. It's either good or bad, depending on how you look at the situation. It's good if people are calling us and asking for help. It's bad if those incidents are increasing for some unknown reasons, who knows why. But we do want people to call us and help and reach out, and we're here to help, and we have a lot of resources we can provide.
Do you have any idea why that's happening? I mean, is there any?
It's unclear. It could be a lot of different reasons. It could be because of the economy, because of stressors that are individual, and it could very well be because we're putting more information out about ways people should contact us and the services we can provide. So it could be partly that people are more confident that when they do call us, we're going to help them, and they're more willing to call than they ever have before.
You said the 911 call was a hang-up. Can you describe what the call, what was going on in the call? Was there screaming or?
It's just a hang-up. So a hang-up pretty much is there's no voice contact. So you call up and it's hung up on immediately.
Oh.
But
And I'm assuming that was-
Can you clarify that it came from the location of where the incident was
It
happening?
did, yes, I'll clarify that.
Why-
And I'm assuming that it was
the
from a
house.
landline, and that's how you knew to go to that particular place?
Exactly right, yes.
Were there conditions of their release?
There was no specific conditions of release other